Thank you very much, Jimmy Nuru Ondieki Angwenyi, Deputy Leader of the Majority Party in the House, and in the National Assembly, the oldest, he served the longest. Grandfather, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it has been a useful day, long hours, but I believe well spent. Vimo, let me tell you, and Patrick, when you look like this and you see so many of these faces still here, and I remember they were still here at 10, I'm even actually surprised. It is an indication that, and a confirmation that indeed what has been happening here has really been worth the while. The efforts are not wasted. I do wish to reiterate the last point which was which was read out by Honorable Robert Bui, about the continuous further engagement between KEPSA sector boards and our various departmental committees. But of course, that's not to say that you should shy away from the other committees. There will be, and this is for me, it's a committee that has always been very close to my heart. And because I know the origins of that committee into the Kenyan Parliament. There is a young committee known as the Committee on Subsidiary Legislation. This committee came about from some workshop that we attended with the late George Museta Nyona in Australia. And it was there in a workshop that we learned what happens in other jurisdictions. And we know it happened. It is there even in our own country that every law that is made, because you cannot be able to imagine what is going to happen, makes provision that whoever is going to implement this is given some latitude to come up with regulations. But the world over, it has been found that those that are given the power to go and make regulations, and especially when they are people who sit in some offices like this, a lot of times they tend to sometimes go against the very spirit of the enabling legislation, and in most cases end up stifling business. It is for that reason that in many countries they have that committee, and I'm proud to say that we are happy that our Kenyan Parliament also now has that committee. It may be gratifying for KEPSA to know that in the recent past, some of the members had almost begun baptizing that committee as the annulment committee. Because on a number of occasions, every time the committee has considered and recommends that these regulations be annulled. They are stifling business. And I thought, Allah. And indeed, even me, I got a bit worried. Only for them to now to say, no, we have only done so few, but the rest we have approved. The importance of that committee is, yes, like Macharia talked about that cyber crime and something about the bloggers have gone to court about. Of course, there will be regulations made under that act. It will be important that the specific board of KEPSA members have an opportunity to sit, even with our own committee on delegated legislation, to help the committee understand some of the intricacies which cannot be anticipated at the time of making the law. I am not making a new contribution. I just thought that it was important that I drew your attention to that, because it will be very useful particularly for business. Just in case sometimes we may make law, give a minister power to go and make this, then you, as a consumers of that law, you find that what the minister has come up with is the very antithesis of what was intended. You do very well to engage with that committee. Let me thank each one of you most profusely. I know my friend, the former Minister of Finance, a serious golfer who has been attending the CPA workshop in North Coast, made his way much later in the evening, but I can see he's paying great attention. I'm sure the member for Kipipiri, the Honorable Amos Kimunya, I don't know whether he was around when somebody made an offer for whiskey. I know what he takes. So I'm inviting him for that which he takes. He knows we share together. Thank you very much. Let me invite you to, I'm told by the chair and the CEO, for what is called or dubbed a gala dinner at the beach. I was just pleading that because some of us are a bit elderly, like Jimmy and Gwenyi, if they come 15 minutes after now, please reserve something for them. They are still on the way. But otherwise, everybody is welcome to dinner right away. But I suspect we may have to pass through some places here and there. So I'm sure in 15 minutes we can congregate Carol. In 15 minutes at the beach. So please prepare yourselves, dress appropriately to be at the beach. But I thank you most sincerely. Asanteni sana, Mungu abariki.
Free music on mdundo.com.